Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Okay, we were seeing the terminologies of accounting, and in that we had seen lastly was the purchase, right? What are the purchases? Why we use the word purchase for the goods only in the businessman deals. In the same way, we are seeing with the word sales. You can see what does sales mean. Businessman receives different types of incomes from business. All these incomes are not treated as sales, right? All these incomes are not treated as a businessman. What is sale? A businessman does the business of goods. Sales of that goods is only treated as treated as sales in accounting. Is it clear? Income generated by grain merchant through the sale of grain is called sales. Income generated by a grain merchant through the sale of grain. If we A grain merchant sells a furniture or a land and building or anything or a small part of things. So it is not his sale. It is not its income that has been done by the sale of the goods. But he sells goods or the grains as goods, so it is termed as sale. Stop. Goods purchased by business for the purpose of trading. Why the purpose of trading is given? Because when the goods are purchased for the business by for sale, it is termed as trading. Goods remain unsold from the goods is called stock. The goods that had buy. Suppose you are dealing in sorry timber. Have you heard about timber? Wood and all that. You are the merchant of that, right? And you had purchased a timber of 10 lakhs, and your sale has been gone to 9 lakh 50,000. What is the stock remaining is 50,000 of timber is not sold. So that is your stock. Is it clear? Here it is given a businessman purchased goods of rupees 70,000, out of which that goods of rupees 45,000 sold for 75,000. Then the stock will be 25,000. We are least concerned what is the price of sale. We are just concerned about what is the amount of stock remaining. See, the cost price of the goods was 70,000 purchase price, and out of which 45,000 goods were sold worth rupees 75,000. For this we don't care. We are left with 70,000 minus this 45,000. So the remaining is your 25,000 is your closing stock. What it is? Closing stock. This 25,000 would be a closing stock. It would be opening stock of 25,000 for the next year. Now you will say, teacher, what is that? So let us see something new. I'll show you. Here you can see your balance sheet. Accounting year ends on 31st March 2015. Yes or no? Means, as I said in the beginning, your financial accounting year starts with the 1st April of the year. I'm not using any year. I'm using 1st April of the year. It means every year 1st April your accounting year starts, and it ends on 31st March. It ends on 31st March. Every year this date is same, but this year is continuously changing. Is it clear? Right. Now, what was your question? Your question is opening stock and closing stock. See, I'll show you. Here you can see the word opening stock. Wait. Here you can see the word opening stock. Can you see? that is 80,000. And here you can see the word closing stock, that is 1,80,000. It means, now coming to your book, you can see over here, this is 31/3/2015. Means your accounting year ends on, this is a final account for the 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015 accounting year. Again I'm stating that, pay attention over here. Okay. See, your accounting year starts on 1st April 2014 and ends on 31st March 2015. Is it clear? So this opening stock would be the closing stock of 31st March 2014. Is it clear? Are you getting me? Means every year once, suppose this is your March 2020, right? Whatever was the closing stock, suppose it was 80,000 in the 31st March 2020. So when you are going to prepare for the next year, that closing stock becomes the opening stock for the next year. Is it clear? If you are not able to understand, so pay attention over here. Suppose yesterday you had income, your cash balance, your cash flow was, you had a transaction of 10,000, but in your box that it is used as the money box that the merchants are using where they store. So the cash balance that is of 500, that is closing for the last night. But when you are starting with the next day, that becomes the opening balance. Yes or no? What is in your that box? 500. So yesterday it was your closing balance. कितना रुपया बचा? 500. अगले दिन, like the next day in the morning, what is in your hand? 500. Is it clear? So previously it was closing stock, then it converts into for the opening stock for the coming year. I hope you all are clear. Coming to our topic. Now you can again read it. At the end of accounting year, the closing stock would be 25,000 and it would be the opening stock for the next year. Is it clear? And it would be the opening stock for the next year. Is it clear? Closing stock is current asset. So closing stock is a which kind of asset? Current asset. In brief, stock means surplus of goods from the purchases. Debtors. Out here comes the technical words of accounting. Debtors. You had sold goods on credit to your client customers, they become your debtor. When the businessman sells goods on credit to his own customers, those customers are called as debtors. Yes or no? Customers become debtor of that amount for which good is sold on credit. Debtors are treated as again current assets. Remember, current asset means the assets that are to be what we say, the assets within 1 year that are used, that is your current asset. So we had seen stock, closing stock is your current asset, debtors as your current asset. Next comes to you is bills receivable. Now, what is bills receivable? Remember, I had given you some topic of bills receivable. Bills receivable is a written document where there are two parties. One is the bill writer, that is the seller, and the one is the bill acceptor, that is the purchaser. Is it clear? When the bill writer acquires right to receive certain amount as per determined date in future, it becomes bills receivables. Is it clear? Bill is a bills receivable for the bill writer. In this written document, bill acceptor accept the written responsibility to pay specified amount on maturity date. Generally, bill receivable emerges from debtors. Accommodation bills are also popular in practice. In this regard, detailed discussion is made in separate chapter. Is it clear what is bills receivable? It is clear. In simple language, I will say bills receivable. Suppose you had sold goods of rupees 25,000 to A. Now, on credit, A says that I will pay the amount after 3 months. So what happens? You will draw a bill, bills receivable. So you are a seller, that's why you are drawing a bill of 10,000 on the name of A, and the maturity of that bill would be 3 months, right? So this month is July. So August, September, October. In October, he is going to pay to you. Right. What happens then? That bill goes to him. He accepts it means he signs it. Yes, I had accepted, and that bill is returned by him to you. So that is a proof that after 3 months he will pay to you. If that is only bills receivable. Again, it's a current asset. Now, how it is a current asset? If you are needing money between these 3 months, you will discount it. Discount it means you will give it to the bank, and bank will deduct certain amount as a discount and pay you. The bill was of 10,000. What happens? The bank will, suppose 5% discount rate is given by bank. So bank will cut 500 rupees from that 10,000, and the bank will pay to you 9,500. So what happens in immediate case? Cash is required. You are easily available to you. Right, receivables. Any amount to be received by the businessman in future from any person or persons is known as receivables. In future, from any person or persons, it becomes receivable. Debtors and bills receivable are included in receivables. Future income that has to be received. Right? In other words, receivables would be commission outstanding, rent outstanding, that if you had rented any property, so rent outstanding, interest outstanding, any interest on FDs or the loan given, not taken, prepaid expenses, etc. are included. Are included. Prepaid expenses means insurance premium. Take example. Insurance premium is an expense for you, but what happens many times? Businessman pays in advance, so it becomes asset for them. So it is receivable. Are included. Loans, advances are also included in it. Is it clear? Outstanding means that are yet to be received. Right? Receivables. Receivables are in four category: debtors, receivable, outstanding incomes, and prepaid expenses. Here we see creditors. Debtors were the words for the goods whom we sell, right? And creditors is the word for the goods from whom we purchase, is a creditor. A businessman does credit sales in the same way he undertakes credit purchase. A person from whom goods are purchased on credit, that particular person becomes creditor. Yani we have to pay udhar to him, right? A trader becomes creditors of the business for the amount for which goods are purchased on credit. Creditors are treated as current liability. Creditors are treated as current liability. Debtors were treated as current assets, so they were creditors are treated as current liability. Is it clear? Remember, we had seen assets also and liabilities also. I am going to show you that also. Bills payable. Bills payable is a written document. Now we had accepted the bill. Yeah, remember I had given you example of you had sold goods to A, right? And A has accepted it. So when he had accepted and returned to it, that bill becomes bills receivable for you. But when he accepts it, so it becomes bills payable for him. For whom? A. He is going to pay you in future. So there again, here it is said there are two parties, bill writer and bill acceptor. Well, bill acceptor accepts the responsibility to pay certain amount as per predetermined date, 3 months as I said, it becomes bills payable. In this return, bill acceptor accepts return responsibility to pay specified amount on the specified date. In case of bills payable, bills acceptor pays the amount on generally bills payable emerges from creditors. So bills receivable emerges from debtors and bills payable emerges from creditors. Is it clear? So again your bills payable is also a current liability that is to be paid within 1 year. Is it clear? Now payables. Any amount to be paid by the business person in future to any person is known as payable. In future. Future means not at the time of accounting. After that you are going to pay, that is your future. Creditors and bills payable are included in bills and payables. In other than that, your what are bills payable? Sorry, what are the payables? Outstanding rent that you have to pay, outstanding commission, outstanding salary, wages, any expense outstanding. That pre-received incomes are included. Now, what are pre-received income? Suppose you had received rent in advance, so that becomes your bill payables, right? Pre-received. It becomes a liability for you because you had received the amount, so that you have to pay to them, give service related to them. Pre-received incomes are the kind of liability. All these payables are current liabilities. So all these payables are current liability. There can be long-term liabilities which are discussed thereafter. You can see again payables are into four category: creditors, then bills payable, outstanding expenses, that is rent, outstanding salary, outstanding commission. These are your outstanding expenses. And income received in advance, that may be rent received in advance and whatever, right? Cost to produce any product or provide any service, whatever the expenses are required. The sum of these expenses cost. Generally in cost, raw material cost, labor cost and other costs are included that you would have studied in from the beginning. Voucher. Voucher is a kind of bill only. Voucher is a written document of the business transaction. A type of transaction is determined on the basis of voucher. A type of transaction like cash transaction, credit transaction, purchase transaction, sales transactions with the bank, expenses transaction, income transaction, asset transaction, liability transaction, etc. are determined from voucher. What kind of bill it is? After deciding the type of transaction recorded in the books according to the rules of account. Discount. Discounts are again also of two types or more than that. Let us see. Emerge of discount is from purchase and sale. Many times from the total amount of the purchase or sale per condition, certain amount is deducted and net amount is paid. The amount which is deducted from the total amount is known as discount. Right? Whatever is deducted, that is termed as discount. After the total amount of purchase sale, the amount which is procured or deducted is known as discount. Again, there are two main types of discount: trade discount and cash discount. Trade discount, that is TD, and cash discount, CD. At the time of sales, business person deducts certain percentage amount from sales price. It is known as trade discount. In business, what happens? Every businessman, they had fixed rate and they had certain discount also. Either you ask him or not, they give you. Yes, this would be the trade discount, business discount, right? To encourage the sales or purchase. So that is known as trade discount. Trade discount is not recorded in the books. Market trade discount is not at all recorded in the books of accounts. Trade discounts are not recorded in the books of accounts. Is it clear? Assume that goods worth rupees 10,000 sold at 2% trade discount. In this case, from selling price of 10,000 after deducting 2%, that goes to 9,800 will be recorded in the books. You are not going to show trade discount of 2%. Is it clear? Only directly the amount is to be returned. Cash discount. Cash discount comes after trade discount. To attract the customers with the purpose to receive quick collection of credit sales, the amount which is deducted from receivable amount is known as cash discount. What happens? Many times businessman says, if you pay the amount within this time, we'll give you 10% cash discount, 5% cash discount. And to get that discount, what does the businessman do? They pay the amount in that time only because they are saving that much of amount. Otherwise, they have to pay that much of cash, right? So cash discount is recorded in the books of accounts. Here your cash discount is recorded in the books of accounts. Is it clear? After deduction of trade discount, cash discount is determined. Directly it is not determined, it is determined after deducting cash discount, trade discount. As above stated, if 200 is the discount is allowed, so on 9,800 customer would pay 9,600 to supplier. Thus 200 will be treated as cash discount. This discount is allowed at the time of collection of cash. Thus it is a called cash discount. Is it clear? Now discount received. Now we had said discount from the viewpoint of giving discount. What is discount received and discount allowed? Discount received or discount allowed are cash discount. This discount is recorded in the books. Discount received is treated as the income and discount allowed is treated as an expense that I had told you earlier. Right? When a businessman purchases received, when a businessman purchases goods and pays less amount which is not paid in is called discount received. So that becomes your income. So it goes on the credit side of profit and loss account, right? This income of business, example, goods of 10,000 purchased from Ramila Bain at 2% discount will be allowed if the amount is paid in 15 days. And in 15 days it pays, so that goes to 9,800 and that 200 will be treated as discount received. Is it clear? Discount allowed. When businessmen sells goods at the time they give discount when they at that time that is their expense. How? Take example over here. This is expense of business. Example, goods of 15,000 sold to Kalpana Bank. If the amount is paid in 10 days, 2% discount will be allowed. Right, and the Kalpana Bank pays the amount within 10 days because she will be also benefited now. So 2% of 15,000 is 300. After deducting that 300, Kalpana Bain is only paying 14,700. Are that 300 in your pocket? No, they are not in your pocket. That are in the pockets of the buyer. right? So that is our expense. But what is the benefit? My money is circulated within the short time of 10 days instead of 3 months of credit period. Is it clear? And it will be recorded in the books. This is an expense of the business. Now the other technical word comes in the form of accounting is depreciation. What is depreciation? Depreciation is an expense of the business. Make it clear, students. The words that are going to take your marks are coming again and again, and that is only I am explaining you. You have to be precise. Depreciation is an expense of business. Depreciation is an expense of business. Every year, the value of asset is reduced by certain rate. Amount which is reduced is called a depreciation. The amount which is reduced is called a depreciation. Is it clear? Right. Before making tax payment to the government, depreciation is deducted. Depreciation is a non-cash expense of the business. Now, coming to your doubts, let me clear you. See, you purchase assets, right? And take example your vehicle. The vehicle, suppose you are driving an Activa and that you had purchased of rupees 65,000. What is the current rate? I don't know. Suppose 57,000 is the price of your vehicle that you had paid before 4 years. I'm using word before 4 years. Is that the same value of your Activa that you are using for the since 4 years? Are you going to get that 57,000? No, you are not going to get that 57,000. Obviously, the price of that vehicle will be reduced. And what happens because of that? Sorry. What is the reason of for that? This is the reason the value of the asset decreases after continuous use and it is termed as depreciation. And it is a non-cash expense. What is that? It's a non-cash expense. It is written in the books of accounts. I'll show you. Okay. See, I had shown you opening stock, closing stock. Then we had seen the word discount. Recently we had seen, remember? What is that discount? See, these are the expense I did. Yesterday I had showed you. So discount given. This is an expense. A full year. It is not a one business transaction, entire business transaction. They had given discount of 46,000. Discount received. So when they were purchasing goods, at that time they got this much of discount. Is it clear? So discount received. Now coming to our point, that is depreciation. Okay. See here you can see fixed asset. What is the price of this fixed asset? 4 lakhs. Yes or no? From that, 50,000 is deducted. See, what is the cost price of this asset? What was the cost price? 5 lakhs. So when it was purchased, it was 5 lakhs, right? And every year the amount of the asset goes in reduction, and that reason of reduction is termed as depreciation. And this is not paid through the books to the business, it is just written in the books of account. Gradual reduction in the price of the asset. Can you see over minus depreciation? So finally, what is the price of the asset that you are seeing? See, so you are seeing the price of the asset is 3,50,000. 3,50,000. What was the purchase price of the cost price of the asset? What was the cost price? You can see 5 lakhs was the cost price. And 10% depreciation means every year the business is giving 10% depreciation. So 10% of 5 lakhs is 50,000. And after this reduction, 5 lakhs minus 150,000 goes 4 lakh 50,000. Then another year they are deducting again 450,000, then goes to 4 lakhs. So this is the third year where they are again deducting 50,000. So the price of the asset is 3 lakh 50,000. So in the next year, next accounting year, they will again deduct 50,000, that is 3 lakhs. And this value becomes at the end of the lifespan of the asset, the value becomes zero. Right? If you take example, you would have seen, many of you had seen your two-wheelers or electronic items. You had seen washing machines in your house. Sorry, have you seen washing machines in your house? You would have seen. Now, suppose if you want to sell any of your washing machine, the price of the sale of that washing machine, that is the exchange price I am saying. If it's a single tub, that is single tub, a fully automatic machine it is, so they will cut 1,000 rupees. And if it's a double tub rupee, the double tub, that is what we say, I don't know what this, a double or something, no, semi-automatic machine. So they will, the company, the what we say, in exchange you will get only 500 rupees as cut. But when you go for the purchase of machine, suppose you want to buy a fully automatic LG or Samsung machine, the price range starts directly from 20,000, right? So, but obviously the machine that you are getting exchange, you would have purchased of 25,000 or 28,000. But after 10 years, 9 years, what is the price you are getting of that old machine is 1,000 or 500. Is it clear? That is only depreciation is your, what we say, reduction in the value of asset. I hope you are clear about it. So depreciation is clear. Before making tax payment to the government, depreciation is deducted. Depreciation is a non-cash expense of the business. Bad debts. Bad debts is a new point that I'm going to explain you in next lecture. Till then, you just refer the points what we had seen. Bye bye.